Today we're doing a bit of an unusual format. This is more of an update video of what's going on in Smite, because there are multiple different news that don't really fill a video, but all together can fill a video. The first one is more Set and Horus information. Horus has shown us some pictures and they've accidentally leaked some more stuff, and we will talk about that. The second one is the Odyssey Tier 5 skin community vote for this year, and we'll talk a little bit about the contestants for that. Before we get started, we're gonna play a little bit of a game in this video as well. And that is to win a skin for Odin, the Raven Warlock skin. So the first person to tweet at me on Twitter which god I hid in the video that shows up for like a very short duration, like 1 or 2 frames or whatever, will win this skin. The reason I'm doing this to Twitter is because no one ever remembers to open their messages on YouTube, so I can never reach the people that actually win something. And this way I can reach you, so make sure you have your Twitter account at least decently active so you'll get the message if you think you're among the people that have a potential chance to win. So be quick about it. The duration will be so short that it'll be quicker to find this by watching than skipping, probably, by the way. So now let's move on to Set and Horus. Horus posted a few tweets over the past days, a few teasers bit by bit that basically tell the story of those two. The first one was a picture of a dead Osiris with the caption, "Murder. From the shadows he came, a thief who stole the life of a king and god. With a single act he cast all we know into chaos. He clutches for the crown, still dripping with the blood of fair Osiris, to place upon his own head." And the hashtag Sense and Skies, again confirming that we probably see both gods at the same time. Then we had a second picture that actually just showed us a little bit more of the same image, and it showed us Set along with Osiris' body. The caption here was, "Order, why do you love it so, as it suffocates you? Only a fool could see our liberation from your father's oppression as cowardice. Only the blind could fail to see my courage. You are blind, but I promise to make you see." And then at the end we had a third picture, which also included Horus standing on the other side and pointing at Set. "This cannot stand. This will not stand. Set, you will never sit upon the throne of our kingdom. This is not vengeance, for this crime can never be repaid or forgiven. This is justice, and I will be its agent here." So definitely a dramatic entrance for the two of them, but we can also talk a bit about the design here. There are some very minor changes from their concept art, but so far they don't seem to be bigger than just a few details. Looking at Set's concept art, we can for example see that his eyes are now different, they are glowing, and overall his armor seems to be a bit more shiny, but that may just be the lighting. I'm not sure if the eyes will be glowing under all circumstances, but it seems that at least under some circumstances they will. We can also see that the blades or guards or whatever on his arms seem a little bit shorter than before. Before they were quite exaggerated in my opinion, but then his arms also are in a different angle, so it may actually just look like that here. His ears are a little less polished, I suppose, a little more roughed up around the edges, so the whole look is a little less clean, a little bit more chaotic, I suppose. But that's really about it when it comes to the changes. It's really just more detail work than anything else. But I do think that especially the glowing eyes are very fitting. Things are almost the same for Horus as well. It seems there are some super minor changes to the design of the wings, and his gloves now seem to be a little bit more all the way to his hands instead of having golden claws, but that may also be the angle of the picture. Outside of that, he pretty much stayed the same. We also have both with the staff weapons here still, even though that was something that was a little bit criticized beforehand, I guess, and that is how they will get into the game. I think the designs still look very, very good, even though of course they have their resemblances with Anubis and with Ra, and I like the style they are. But talking about resemblances and differences, their kits are most certainly very, very different, and we know a little bit about that, and that is because the achievements for Set and Horus have already been shown on Steam, and the Reddit user All Potatoes pointed this out. For Set, the achievements are Rise of the Clones, as Set, control 6 clones at one time, and From All Angles, hit 3 different gods with your clones with a single instance of Skewer. So we know that he can spawn clones in some way or another, but the very interesting thing here is that he seems to be able to spawn a lot of clones. The only other god that I can think of that spawns that many types of minions basically is Bakasura in his ultimate, or pretty close as Chernobog with his shadows. And you can hit multiple enemies with these clones at the same time with one ability. It's not clear how you can spawn them or how they're applied, or if they stick to the targets, or if it's maybe more of a small AoE thing where you can hit 3 targets with that. But either way, it sounds very interesting because we know that Zed is going to be an assassin, and a summoning clones mechanic for an assassin is not really what I expected to begin with, to be honest, but I'm looking forward to it. Horus has the Protector King as his first achievement. As Horus, heal an allied guard below 15% health with your 3rd ability. That seems rather simple. His 3rd ability has some sort of healing effect, or can apply healing effect somehow at least, so we'll see what that does exactly. The more interesting part here is probably where we're dropping, reference to any battle royale we drop from the sky basically. As Horus, have at least 3 allied guards go with you during your ultimate. So you are apparently able to pick up your allies in your ultimate and then drop them off somewhere. And that sounds absolutely terrifying if you ask me, so we will see how that works out in game. And speaking of games, we'll do another little game here. If you're enjoying this video, feel free to click the like button at this point, and if this video hits 1000 likes, then I will drop another skin code 2 videos from now. Tomorrow's video is already pre-planned, everything, I can't do it there, but in the next one after that, I'll see how I drop it, we'll figure it out then. And now let's move on to the other announcement that Horus made, being the Odyssey Tier 5 skin community vote. Now the Odyssey is every year towards the end of the year, you probably know that already, just for the new ones here. It's a long row of different skins and other things that you buy, and at the end you get a Tier 5 skin. And as usual, we can vote on the skins that have a chance to make it through. The voting starts on April 12th, or in other words, has already started. And this year we have a 16 guard bracket with head-to-head matchups between some of the community's favorite guards, as Horus says it. Every class is represented. We took into account guards' popularity, the amount of time since each class received a Tier 5 skin, and of course excluded guards that already had a Tier 5. The concept other than that is the same as it was the years before. You always have these brackets and the winner proceeds to the next bracket, and then when you're down to the last 2 skins, there will be a concept competition, and everyone on the forums and on Reddit and everywhere can submit their ideas. And of those ideas, Horus will then choose 1 for each guard and turn them into design concepts that you can look at basically, and then you can vote for those 2 concepts or vote for which guard and which concept you prefer. And that brings us to the brackets. The first bracket on the left side is Carnunos versus Ymir. Now, for me this one is simple. Carnunos doesn't really have that many skins yet, and he has interesting potential for Tier 5, whereas Ymir's potential is somewhat limited and he has a lot of great skins already. I would go for Carnunos here. The next bracket is Athena and Xbalanque. I find this a little bit harder, but with Ares just having gotten a Tier 5, I don't really think we need another old school Guardian getting a Tier 5 at the moment, and I would say Xbalanque would be more justified, and with his ultimate there's a lot of room for interesting concepts as well. Between Arachne and Sol, I gotta say, I think that Sol is more limited when it comes to her skin concepts. She had a lot of fire-ish concepts first, and then she also has some more realistic concepts now, so I think most of what's covered for her is already covered. I think Arachne, on the other hand, has a lot of room for very unique concepts, things where people can go all crazy. So if she doesn't win the current skin contest that she's in, then I think this would be a great opportunity for her, but at the same time, she might also win that, so I'm a bit torn on this one. When it comes to Izanami versus Apuash, I think both of them are very valid choices. I think that Apuash has a little bit more potential for an interesting Tier 5 due to his ultimate. I think there's a lot of fun stuff that can be done with that, and his corpses, whereas Izanami's kit is maybe visually a bit more boring, but at the same time I would find Izanami as a choice very justifiable as well. Between Pelé and Chaac, I gotta say that on one hand I think Pelé is still kind of new and she already has quite a few decent-ish skins, but I also think that she has a lot of room for more interesting skins. Chaac, on the other hand, has already covered every single theme that is out there basically, and I don't think that he would need another skin that progresses in some sort. He He was actually one of the first gods to get a progression skin with the Slaughterhouse skin. So yeah, I think that's all he needs really, and I personally wouldn't need another Chark skin, and I don't know if people even play Chark that much to the extent where it would be worth it. Maybe not in Conquest. Between Agni and Amaterasu, I'm again relatively torn. I think Amaterasu already has quite a few great skins, but so does Agni. Really, this one is something where I'd also just go by whichever. I personally would probably want Pele to win over those two in either scenario. Then we have Nemesis and Baron Samedi, and I gotta say, I'm an Assassin main, but I'm definitely giving this to Baron Samedi. Nemesis just has way too many skins at this point. It's just, I don't see why she would need anything else and how it would be interesting for a tier 5 anyway, so it's gonna be Samedi. Even though I think that Samedi already has very cool skins as well, and design-wise in a place where I think a tier 5 would not add that much. I think neither of these should really be the one advancing here, because they're both pretty cool as they are and have very limited potential for a tier 5. And the next god should also not progress, and that's Neith, because Neith is just Neith and has a million skins, and again, I can't really think of anything that she doesn't have, and a tier 5 for her would probably be incredibly boring, and shame on you if you vote Neith, really. Medusa also honestly doesn't really need a vote, because she is kind of covered in skins as well. She has a lot of nice skins with different themes and different special effects and whatnot, so even for her, I don't really think a vote is warranted. The only reason to vote for Medusa is so that Neith doesn't advance. I think especially the bottom right bracket is a little bit strange, because it's basically a free pass to at least the semifinals, because there really is very limited competition, whereas on the left side, the competition will be much harder between a lot of these skins, and I think they could have been mixed a little bit differently, but that's just me. More than anything, I'm just disappointed that Hunbatz wasn't an option, because I think his ultimate would have been great for a tier 5 skin, and Hunbatz just really deserves a skin. Let me know which skin you're going to vote for in the comments down below, and if you think that a particular skin is missing that really deserves a tier 5 at this point that I'm maybe not thinking of here. I was originally planning to fit a third update in this video as well, but we are unfortunately out of time, so we'll do that in the next one. So keep your eyes peeled for some more updates on queues in the future. With that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're new to the channel, feel free to click the sub button and maybe the bell. It really helps me out. And other than that, see you for the next one soon, probably tomorrow. DukeSloth, out.